Justin here with S&K Greenhouse, and today we are going over tons of shrub combinations for your home. Watch this video till the end and you're going to feel empowered to finally get your landscape done. Starting up here at the very top, I have the Tater Tot Arborvitae, and we're going back on up to the Barberry Admiration. Look at these two together. You have the dark emerald green of the Arborvitae, Tater Tot, and then the Barberry Admiration's got this variegated leaf. It's red with gold edges. And I really think these two together pack a punch because something about this dark green brings out the color of this one. If you have a small space or you want low maintenance, these two shrubs are great because they're both going to stay about 2 foot tall, 2 foot wide, great in part to full sun. Also, if you struggle with deer, these two are very deer resistant, especially the Barberry Admiration, or any barberry for that matter. Here's another cool combo. We've got the Golden Globe Arborvitae and the Cerise Charm Loropetalum. Have you ever seen such contrast? Now this shrub right here, Golden Globe, is going to get about 3 to 4 foot tall, and it always looks manicured. Just grows in a natural globe shape. I would probably keep it towards the back and the Loropetalum up in the front. Now this is not your average Loropetalum. Cerise Charm stays very compact. It has a dark, almost black burgundy-ish leaf. Blooms beautiful in the springtime. And I think the formality with the Golden Globe and the informality with the Cerise Charm just makes a really good combination. That's going to look great in front of your home. I'm about to hit you with a good one right here. The Radiance Abelia. I'll be right back. And the Dragon Prince Cryptomeria. Okay, this is one of my favorite combinations. We've got the new Dragon Prince Cryptomeria. Now this is going to probably take the place of Cryptomeria globosa, in my opinion, because of the tight, beautiful foliage. I mean, just look at that. Now, Dragon Prince is going to get about 2 to 3 foot high and about 3 to 4 foot wide. This is probably what I would keep a little more towards the back. Now, Radiance Abelia, again, 2 to 3 foot tall, probably 3 foot wide. Radiance Abelia actually blooms late spring going into summer, and then you'll have scattered blooms. This one's even blooming now. Check that out, except for it'll be covered in the springtime. This also has a variegated leaf, dark green center with white edging, and there's just something about these two together that will make you happy. I'm super excited to show you the next one. I think it's very unique. We've got the Obsession Nandina and the Jubilation Gardenia. These two are very compatible because they're both going to get about 3 to 4 foot tall and wide. Jubilation, if you don't know about it, this is a reblooming gardenia. So with a traditional gardenia, you would get one huge flush in the springtime and then just the green glossy foliage the rest of the year. But with this one, here we are filming in the month of August, and we've still got these beautiful, fragrant double blooms. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. And there's something about the dark green glossy foliage with the texture and the red color of this Obsession Nandina. This is truly an evergreen combination that packs a punch. Put these in part to full sun and you're going to enjoy these for the years to come. Up next we have the King's Gold Cypress with the Danica Arborvitae. I mean, look at this combination here. Look at the stark contrast. This would look excellent in a landscape. Let me tell you about them. Danica is more of a 2 foot tall, 3 foot wide shrub. Mounding never needs pruning. Yes, I'll say it again. No need for hedge trimmers. They just look like that. The next one is King's Gold. Now some of you might be wondering if this is the old school plant called Gold Mop. No, King's Gold is like a dwarf gold mop. Now, I don't think I've ever talked about it on the channel because I rarely have it. If you can't find it in your area, maybe look for Paul's Gold. It's probably the most similar cypress to King's Gold, but these two together really pack a punch. King's Gold and Danica are both very drought and deer resistant. If you put them in part to full sun, they're going to perform their best. This next combination is truly amazing. We have the Rainbow Leucotho, and we got the Cerise Charm Loropetalum again. Now, I've already told you about this one, but this is a new one for us. It's been out a while, but check it out. All right, this is going to be a combination for you if you have more of a shady area. Now, Cerise Charm Loropetalum will have its best color where it's getting, 6 hours of sun, but Cerise Charm can tolerate a good bit of shade, and so can this plant. You don't want to put this one in full sun. Look at the color on it. It's got variegated green and cream colored leaves, and it's also got these pink leaves. And it looks really great with Cerise Charm because Cerise Charm has pink blooms. So you see what I did there? And also look at the contrast. Now, to keep this one, it's going to stay naturally manageable, but there might be occasional clipping to keep it 2 feet, and it'll get about 3 to 4 foot wide. So this is one you definitely kind of keep in front of the Cerise Charm. And when your neighbors walk by, this combination right here is probably the most versatile one I'm going to talk about. Because believe it or not, Anna's Magic Ball Arborvitae can take sun and tolerate a good bit of shade, and so can the Sprinter Boxwood. This is a proven winter combination here that I really, really love. So the Sprinter Boxwood, of course, boxwoods being evergreen, tolerant to a lot of different zones and soils. This one can be kept in that 2 to 4 foot range, occasional pruning to keep it to 2 feet. Anna's Magic Ball, I could go on and on about it. Year-round gold color, developed in Canada, so it's got a ton of good cold tolerance. Naturally, globe shape. I've got 3 of these at home. Trust me, you're not going to have to prune these. These are great for small walkways. Petite combination that'll knock your eyeballs out. I'm really digging this next combination. I thought, when I was making this video, what would go good with Mountain Fire Pieris that would really just highlight its attributes? It's the Flirt Nandina. Keep the Flirt more in front of the Mountain Fire Pieris. You can do a little zigzag pattern. This one's great for pretty much a side of your home that's not full sun. This is a really good part shade to shade combination. Yes, Flirt Nandina tolerates a great amount of shade. It's got the red new growth. It's also evergreen and one of the most compact Nandinas out there. This one's more like a 2x2. And you put it with the Mountain Fire Pieris. This is personally my favorite Pieris because of the red new growth and the blooms you get in the wintertime. Yes, like in January, you're gonna have these huge plumes that come off, beautiful white, and then the new growth starts coming out around March, April, and it's a stunning combination. This will get about 3 foot by 3 to 4 foot, a little taller than wide, and I think these two together are truly great. Justin, you're always giving combinations for the sun, and I've got a lot of shade. Well, I'm showing you shade, people, some love today. We've got the Duke Garden Jew and the fragrant Banana Peel Elysium. I love this. Look at the contrast between the gold and the dark green. I've got both of these at home. Love them. You can put these in part shade to shade. Duke Gardens will even take sun. This one won't take the afternoon sun, so keep it out. All right, so with the banana peel, it's extra deer resistant because it has this licorice smell to it. It is evergreen, and it gets about 3 to 4 foot tall and wide, and it's pretty much the dwarf version of the Elysium or anise called Florida Sunshine. Duke Gardens, also deer resistant. So a lot of times you have a wooded area, you got lots of deer. These two are going to be great for the deer resistance. Duke Garden Jew is going to get about 3 foot tall and 3 to 4 foot wide. Both of these are evergreen, and I love the finely textured needle of the Duke Garden Jew. Again, excellent heat resistance also, so is this one. stunning. Sometimes you see shrubs like the Jazz Hands variegated loropetalum online, and you wonder if it's photoshopped. No, this is just an amazing colorful combination. And the thing about these two shrubs are they will get some size to them. So if you have a house, maybe you have a tall porch and you're trying to block what's underneath, this is a great combination because the sunshine ligustrum is going to get about 4 to 5 foot tall, a few feet wide, and the Jazz Hands is going to get about 4 feet by 4 feet, even taller if you never prune it. So prune lightly after they bloom in the spring. Jazz Hands loropetalum, I want to address this. Some people wonder why theirs is not variegated. Well, the springtime new growth is going to be a dark purple, and it's going to get variegated like this later in the year. So don't freak out if yours leafs out and it's not variegated. It's still pretty though. Sunshine ligustrum is also an evergreen year-round gold color, and the stark contrast between these two is phenomenal. This next combo is my go-to. It's my default every time. I actually love it so much I planted it at my house. I just love these two textures together. I'm bringing back the cerise loropetalum for this one. Dark purple burgundy foliage year-round with the Fire Chief arborvitae. Now if you've got a lot of sun or you need an area where you need some drought tolerant plants, these two work well together. Fire Chief's going to be more orange in the wintertime, more light orange and green in the spring, summer, early fall. It's naturally globe shaped. I've only pruned my Fire Chief one time in 4 years, and I probably didn't even need to prune it. I just wanted to keep it a little bit low. Now, you want to keep the cerise charm more towards the back because it's going to outgrow the Fire Chief, but this evergreen combination will absolutely, positively knock your little socks off. Up next I'm bringing back the King's Gold, again a dwarf gold mop. Now I got it with the Encore Azalea, and the reason is Encore Azalea's got more of a broad leaf. The King's Gold has more of a finely textured needle-like leaf. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm putting different opposing textures and colors together. To me, that's what makes a landscape mwah. So the Encore Azalea is going to get about 3 to 4 foot tall, and the King's Gold is going to get about 2 to 3 foot tall. So keep it more towards the front. And you got the evergreen gold foliage here with the dark green foliage of the Encore Azalea plus the blooms. Now you can see this is Encore Majesty, and it's a purple bloom. And I love purple and gold together. And if you're not familiar with Encore Azaleas, they're great in full or part sun, unlike the old-fashioned ones that are pretty much for shade. The other cool thing about Encores is they bloom spring, summer, and fall. Those two together makes me emotional. Up next we have Cerise Charm loropetalum. And hang on, it went in my shoe. Up next we have the Cerise Charm loropetalum with the candy corn spirea. Look at that pairing. Now the reason I mention it is because I have this at my house, except for having a little Fire Chief in the middle, and it just looks great. All right, candy corn spirea is deciduous. Don't let that scare you. That just means the leaves fall off, but not until like December, January, and guess what? February, you're gonna have cherry red new growth, and it comes out really quick. So don't let it scare you that it's not technically evergreen. You're gonna have beautiful pinkish purple blooms in the late spring going into summer, and the foliage, the pineapple color foliage that turns into this beautiful red orange, just looks stunning with the dark foliage of the Cerise Charm loropetalum. Another thing I like about candy corn, it loves part or even full blazing sun, and it'll stay about 2 foot tall, 2 foot wide. Now if you're a little too cold for loropetalum, or you don't like the loropetalum, you could always sub it out for the tater tot arborvitae, and that emerald green foliage, again with the pineapple foliage of the candy corn, and the similar growth habits, and the drought tolerance, and the full sun tolerance, is going to look great. Up next, we have Anna's Magic Ball with the soft touch holly. The word holly is going to scare a lot of you in terms of low maintenance, but the soft touch holly is different. You're not going to have those big huge offshoots that come off, you got to trim off every 5 minutes. No, this is a very low maintenance holly. You're not going to have to do a lot of trimming. These are both going to grow about 2 foot tall and wide, and they pair well with one another because the finely textured broad leaves are great with the fan-like leaves of the arborvitae. This combination is also not just petite, but very soft. And if you have little kids playing around and they fall in it, it's going to feel good. For this shrub combination, I'm bringing back the Abelia Radiance with the tater tot arborvitae. I think the dark green foliage on the tater tot really brings out the green on the Abelia. Again, these are roughly going to be 2x2 shrubs. If I were going to put these in my landscape, I'd probably keep the Abelia to the back, the tater in the front. But again, I like mixing the more formal trimmed up shrubs with the cottagey wild shrubs. Look at that pairing. Up next, I got you guys another shade combination. We got the Duke Gardens Yew again with the snow and summer jasmine. Now, jasmine is great in part shade or shade. The new growth looks like blooms, but it's actually the foliage. Come in and look at this pink and white juicy foliage. It's actually not juicy, so don't worry about that. It's got the dark green undertones with the dark green yew. If you got some shade, a wooded area, a part sun area, this is going to be more like a ground cover. It can kind of fill in and do its thing, while this is more of a shrub. So you got the 3 foot height of the yew, the ground cover of the jasmine, only 6 inches tall, but maybe 3 or 4 foot. And what kind of combination in the shade is going to be more colorful than that? This next shrub combination is my last one, and I saved it because it gets me pumped up. This is a blooming combination and evergreen. It's got a great height differentiation, and it's got a great color and texture difference. I would put the Abelia more up front, Encore in the back. Again, 3 to 4 foot tall, 2 foot tall, white blooms. And this one is Encore Autumn Empress, which is more of a pink bloom. And you put those pink blooms with the white blooms of that Abelia, definitely keep this one in your back pocket. All right, so it's the next day. I was editing the video and I left out one of my favorite shrubs, the golden dragon yew. And just because I'm gonna make up for it, I'm gonna show you 3 shrubs that's gonna go good with this one. First, let me tell you about golden dragon yew. It gets about 3 foot tall, 4 feet wide, and it's good for sun or shade, and it's deer resistant. What more could I say? Year-round, beautiful gold foliage. Look at the texture. I just put the Blue Star juniper with it. Now this is something you'd want to keep in the front. Blue Star is going to get about 1 foot tall and 2 foot wide, year-round blue color. Ooh, look at that combination. You don't like it? I got another one for you. Mr. Bowling Ball Arborvitae. Let me just bowl it on down there. It's going to get about 2 to 3 foot tall and wide, year-round blue foliage. Yes, it'll darken a little bit in the winter, but it's beautiful. Also pretty deer resistant, naturally globe shaped, kind of offsets the interesting texture of the golden dragon. You saying you don't like it? Well, I got another shrub for you. We'll just get that one on out of here. Don't worry, it ain't hurt. It's fine, I promise. I didn't break it, okay? I'm serious, it's fine. I'm gonna put it with the Danica arborvitae. We've already talked about this one, but I love the emerald foliage with the gold foliage This combination is absolutely, positively stunning, and you should try it at your home. Well folks, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope it gave you a lot of ideas and inspiration to go home and tackle that landscape. I also just wanted to say thank you for your viewership. This channel has grown tremendously. I'm so glad you guys are finding value, supporting the channel, and I've had so many of you actually drive out to the nursery, and I've had the pleasure of meeting you. Some of you have driven many, many miles and for hours to come here and see us, and I just want to say thank you so much. And if you're local or not local, it don't matter. Alex and I would love to come meet you and help you out with your landscape needs. And until next time, become a plant person.